As we've already mentioned, the Yangtze Estuary No. 2 was most likely a wooden, flat-bottomed trading vessel, or a sand junk. Now, finding a sand junk in the waters near Shanghai is not exactly a huge surprise, as there were literally thousands of these ships going up and down the east coast of China for hundreds of years. In fact, these ships are such an intrinsically important part of Shanghai that they were included in the city's emblem. Flat-bottomed, wooden sand junks were used to transport grain to the north as far back as the Yuan dynasty. After the ban on maritime transport was lifted in 1684, the North Ocean route that connected Shanghai to northern China became the busiest route for these ships, with an annual cargo throughput estimated at about 700,000 tons.
The trading vessels would carry cotton from the south, also some manufactured goods such as tonics and spices to the north. These vessels also delivered cargo such as Japanese metal lacquer wares, soybeans, and soybean oil from the north to the south. The route was a most profitable one. In 1858, an official report by a viceroy of Liangjiang said all the essence of the Jiangsu province is in Shanghai, and Shanghai is rich because of its trading vessels.
After 1853, the port of Shanghai surpassed Guangzhou and became the largest foreign trading port in China, the second largest in all of Eastern Asia. And with that brought competition from Western ships, and these smaller sand junks fell into disuse. But because these ships were such an important logistical lifeline for the eastern seas, it's very commonplace to find them in all forms of heraldry, in coats of arms and flags, and even on currency. A Japanese painting from the Edo period, which coincides with China's Qing dynasty, shows 11 merchant ships from the southeastern coast of China in the Japanese port of Nagasaki, including one vessel that was nearly 70 meters long.
In the
Edo period, there were many merchant ships that traveled between China and Japan. They bought copper from Japan, which was abundant in Japan at that time, and brought it back to China where they used it to make coins. There were 198 ships at the most, and then the number gradually decreased, only 10 ships a year. The most common product shipped from China to Japan was sugar.
On September 6th, an exhibition on maritime civilization exchange between China and South Korea began at the National Maritime Museum in South Korea. Now, this place here, the China Maritime Museum, sent over 27 items for this exhibition, and among them was a scale model of a 5-masted merchant vessel.
中国人在向海外这个发展的过程当中啊。
In the process of overseas development, China played a great role in promoting the development of Southeast Asia, sometimes even a decisive one. In the Western Pacific region, the transfer of goods depended heavily on Chinese merchant ships. At that time, the European merchant ships transported their goods to Singapore or Malacca Strait had to wait for the arrival of Chinese merchant ships. The formation of international trade today is closely related to the development of maritime trade by the Chinese since the Ming dynasty.
Another model of one of these merchant vessels, as well as some photographs of junks, are on display in the British National Maritime Museum. A Chinese junk also appeared on the Singapore dollar bill from 1980 to 2001. Although the sand junks are no longer sailing the seas of East Asia, bringing goods across vast expanses of open ocean and delivering them to inland river ports, the efforts put into the recovery of Yangtze Estuary No. 2 are an example of the importance the city of Shanghai places on its history as a center of trade. Today, Shanghai is one of the central hubs of the Belt and Road Initiative, and the port of Shanghai is the largest shipping port in the world. Stephen Rancourt, Shanghai Live.